success at Morgan Stanley is due to John Mack alone. Like, there was a lot of emphasis on how the situation at Morgan Stanley turned about due to his superb leadership. But perhaps there could be other reasons, like maybe there was an improvement in the market itself.
Yeah, I think so too. In fact, I read an article from Google Finance which shows a positive correlation between the Dow Jones and Morgan Stanley share price. This shows that the company is indeed very much affected by the market. Remember the unfortunate 911 tragedy? And that happened during Purcell's reign over Morgan Stanley. And I believe that it had far-reaching and devastating effects on Morgan Stanley.
Okay, so that means when Mack took over, the situation was actually already recovering, and this could account for the fact that the business is better, right?
Yeah. Looking at the article Mack Attack, I gather the author of its author assumed that information collected is not biased. Actually, the information given is a bit superficial and doesn't prove that Mack is actually a good leader.
I agree. So apart from the points that was mentioned in the article, such as Mack being a good leader because he delivers results, I think there are other aspects of being a good leader, such as how well he gets along with his employees, how he works with them, how they perceive him to be, and whether he garners trust from them. In fact, a few days ago, I came upon this article entitled "John Mack is Back at Morgan Stanley," and it mentioned that while Mack was a much beloved figure at Morgan Stanley, he was also very feared by many. So perhaps his return, could spark a new round of defections among Purcell loyalists, and working relationships between him and the rest may not be as rosy as what he thinks.
Perhaps the magazine could conduct a survey on how the employers feel about Mack, or perhaps conduct an interview regarding Mack's leadership. This will give a fuller picture of Morgan Stanley. And actually another reason is that Mack is perceived to be a good leader because he delivers results. But the fact is that Morgan Stanley was in a pretty bad state when Mack took over. And the company was lost without any direction. So by the time he took over, he shared his vision and he put the company towards that vision. So I think he was regarded as a good leader because of that.
Yeah, that reminds me of how Adolf Hitler, who was the lone strong voice in a time of chaos and uncertainty during the Great Depression, actually garnered much respected leadership then. Perhaps it's because his strengths were amplified as he was the only one who dared to stand.
Indeed. The assumption holds only if all leaders have the same personal characteristics, and that all of these qualities are equally important. But this is extremely unrealistic because leadership is far too complex to have a list of universal traits to apply to every condition. For example, our minister mentor, Mr. Lee is an exemplary leader, and the same accolade is given to US President George W. Bush. But is there a way of doing the same? It's not right. So, Singapore's government style had a more soft authoritarian approach, while that of US is more liberal.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. So to add on to what you have said, right, I thought that Mack is actually, he fits into this stereotype of an ideal leader, perhaps because he has this clear goal and he's aggressive in his manner.
Yeah. I think that employees will depend on this immediate information and for Mack's past success, and they determine that Mack is actually an effective leader. Then they assume without question that he's an effective leader. So since he fits into the mental image of an effective leader, they assume that he's an effective leader. And their influence lastly, as we can all see, Purcell really didn't do a good job, right? And it's a case of relativity.
Yeah, actually, Mack is a good leader. But whether is he really that good, or is it because it's just comparing between him and Purcell? So maybe we should ask
let's ask him.
Hey, hi.
Hey, hi.
No,
thank you.
Harry Potter.
What the heck?
Yeah, correct.
So, do you have any insight information to share?
No, same thing.
It's okay. Writing down. Yeah.
Yeah, don't say I say one. Okay. Morgan Stanley are now experiencing some meltdown due to some subprime market. That's why I think just now the Miss Zoe Cruz was sacked because of that. Then the boss, right? Not that I want to say him. He's damn zai when it comes to delivering results. The company is good, say. But then he also let the soft skills. That day I was online. Then I go through the CNET CEO survey. Then I realized a lot of people think like me, as employees, Wow, everyone, all the employees say that their CEO lack the soft skills emotional intelligence. So I think now as a leader, most important is soft skills. That's all I have to say. Okay, I'm going to keep on my stuff already.
Okay, sure. Okay, thank you very much.
I think rush. Yeah, I think our boss is calling us.
Yeah, our boss. Hi, Mr. Editor. We just came back from the press conference. Do you have any questions for us before we start our article?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, okay. So, are people born leaders by nature or through nurturing? And if it is by nature, then if people are born followers, should they continue to be followers or should they nurture themselves to be leaders?
I believe that an aptitude for leadership, right, is something like inborn, and it can be compared to one's charisma and maybe the ability to meet other people now. So some of us are just fortunate enough to have this in us when we are born. We can just make people laugh easily. Well, other people may have to like learn through some of life's experiences or something like that. So I believe that nature and nurture work hand in hand in this aspect. So like, there is really no point if you are born with a talent to lead, but you don't hone the skill, then you won't reach your potential. So coming back to the second question, right, the one about if you're a born follower, okay. So even if you are a born follower, okay, you can always step up and acquire skills which can transform you into a leader. In the end, it's really up to one's initiative. And some characteristics of leadership perhaps cannot be learned, some can. So in the end, right, perhaps we can only make use of what we have and how much we are going to learn. Yeah. Okay. So do you have any insights for us before we start our article?
Yeah, I found two articles, but they are on the same topic. The first one is by NUS, it's called Leaders Born or Cultivated. The second one is by University in Norwich. It's Are Leaders Born or Developed? So by NUS, right, there are many three types of people. Some people are just born great, some have achieved greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. So those who are born great, right, they normally have a few characteristics. And that is they have a strong, dominant, extrovert personality. In simpler terms, it's charisma. So if you're very soft and very quiet, you're actually not a very good leader. Then you must have a vision. Then you must have a capacity to inspire and motivate others. Then they also need to have a very good skill of oratory. The way you talk, the way you deliver your speeches, this is very important. People like Winston Churchill and Hitler are examples of good people who have good oratory skills. Other basic characteristics you need are integrity, consistency, and steadfastness. Yeah. So there are some qualities that are inborn, such as charisma and personality. These are things that we are born with, but you can't really change much of it. However, the other qualities that you're actually able to nurture yourself through the way you're brought up, the way you go for courses, the way you learn new skills. So these are ways to help your development of becoming a leader. So for the second group of people, right, where greatness is thrust upon them, actually these are people who have no ability to lead. They're actually not very good leaders, but they're actually placed into a position where they have to lead. So if they are bopian, they have to just acquire the skills. A person is to learn to lead other people. Then another thing is important that different situations require different types of leadership.